should have received your 3 cards in the mail, and so I'm going to start with this very first one. It's going to have some Poppy Parade cardstock, and so you're going to do like we always do. You're going to fold it in half. You should have 2 pieces for the inside. One is going to, well, there's one for the outside, one is textured. Then you have one that isn't textured, and it's going to have this little element from the Peaceful Poppies die. And unfortunately, these dies aren't available right now. Hopefully that ends soon. That's some of the issues we're having with the coronavirus in China, in trying to get some of these things back. But you're going to take this piece and you're going to attach it on the inside. And take your adhesive. Certainly you would go ahead and choose an inside greeting, but because we're trying to limit stamping, I did not include one. You're going to go ahead and attach it to the inside of the card, like so. And then we'll work with what we're doing on the front of the card. So you've got just a few pieces here. You've got these pieces. You certainly could use this one if you'd rather, but I like the poppies that are on the other side. So I'm going to attach it onto my backer piece of Poppy Parade. Like so. And then I gave you a piece of this linen trim, and you're going to cut it in half. So just fold it over, then take your scissors and you're going to just trim it in half. And then I just put some adhesive, somewhere here on the back. That allowed me then to take one of my pieces of the trim, wrap it around to the back, and then I'm just going to repeat with the other piece, and you want to make sure that they're straightened up on the front. Space them out. I did just a little bit, maybe less than 1/8 of an inch even. Like so. Okay. And then should be ready to attach to the front of my card. So I want to center it on the front, like so. And then this piece we're going to attach to the front of our card. Maybe a little more adhesive there. Make sure it's straight up. Line it up on the front. And attach. And then that leaves us with this element, which I don't think I made a comment about, but it's going to use the stitched nested dies, and I used this size of them to cut this piece out. And I'm going to use the Stamparatus. I find it's the easiest, but certainly you can stamp it with any image. If you don't have the Peaceful Moments dies or Peaceful Moments stamp, you can use any kind of image that would fit into this space. I'm going to take my Poppy Parade. I happen to have an ink spot, so I'm going to ink it up. But any color, again, even a black would make this look nice. I'm going to bring it down. Looks like I need to make sure my arm is out of the way. Let's see how we did. Not too bad. I'm going to pull it out of the way. So it's kind of like so. Move my template out. Get out my piece of cleaner pad, clean that up. Okay, until we need it again. So I've got my image. I'm just going to use some mini dimensionals on the back of it. You should have 4 of them. You may not need that many, but that way you have enough. If you have some at home, you can add more. And then I just turned it around to the front and put it up here on this end. And it makes a real simple happy birthday card. So that's our first card. I'm going to set it out of the way. I'm using the Poppy Moments stamp set for this, but again, like I said, you could use any stamp set that you have that'll fit into these images. So for our second card, it's this happy birthday card, and I'll tell you right now that you guys are lucky because this die is a little bit of a booger. This is the stitched lace dies, and it has all these little things that you're going to have to pop out. And I got a lot of them out, but you're probably going to have more. So let me pull out this card. So I've done a lot of the work for you. So you're going to have all of these pieces when you pull it out, plus you're going to have some dimensionals in yours. Okay, like so. And again, what I did is I took one of the pieces, so just so you know, so it comes like so, and I cut out this piece and this piece. This is a 1-inch piece, and this is 3 inches. And then I took a piece that was left over. This is about 5/8 of an inch. And you can use either some adhesive or some glue. Either way works, just to decorate along the side of the inside, like so. And then you're just going to trim the excess. Okay, get that out of the way. Then fold your card base in half. We're going to take inside, attach it on the inside, whatever direction you'd prefer that element is. Okay. And then you could put your greeting in here. I'm going to set this aside just for a moment. Okay. Then these pieces, what I found worked best was to use my Tombow glue. But before I do that, reach for my thing. I told you you're going to have a few pieces that you need to pop out, and I left just a few in mine. Where did I leave them? Here they are. You're going to have to poke, and the piercing tool works the best to poke those out. So, but then just take your glue. Don't be too generous, but get kind of along these edges as you add a little bit of glue to hold it down. Okay. Line it up along the edge. Shove it down and get that glue out of the way. Do the same thing with this piece, except we're going to stick it on the other side. Okay. Line it up. You want to make sure that edge lines up, like so. Get this glue out of the way. Okay. Then you may have some edges like I do where you need to come in here and just trim them off. Looks like I didn't do too bad. Looks like it fits pretty well. A little bit along here. Just make sure you don't trim off the fold. Okay. like so. But before we keep going on, I want to make sure to go ahead and stamp my greeting. So I put it inside my Stamparatus, and I have it lined up where it will accept that, and I'm going to use the Blackberry Bliss ink. So that will match my Blackberry Bliss flower that's going to go on the front. So I'm going to ink up, push down, there we go, and again, clean it up. We can then get the Stamparatus out of the way. And then it's a matter of assembling our card. And again, I used the Poppy Moments dies. This is a piece of the Peaceful Poppies Designer Series paper. This would be the other side. And then I did on this one, because it's so tiny, I did use some of the adhesive backing that we don't sell anymore. You can still find it, though, other places. I pull that backer off, line it up on top of the other image. This is just, with this so tiny, this is a lot easier than trying to use glue, but you could use glue. Okay, and then you have this little element that goes in the center. I think it's the stamen. Here we go. Kind of use something sharp. The ends of your scissors works real well. Okay, and then this goes in the center, like right here. My hand out of the way, you might be able to see it, like so. And then again, we need a few Stampin' Dimensionals. I like these minis. They kind of do a good job, and you can certainly use more than the 4 I gave you. If you have some at home, that works well. And then the last thing I did was just to take this piece, this is 12 inches long, this piece of linen thread, and I just made a big, big bow with it. I found it was almost the easiest way to get something behind, was just to loop it kind of like so. Doesn't matter if it's floppy. Pull off your backers on the back. Kind of lay this down on your card front. Get your piece of, well, your flower here. Put it on top of it. It'll kind of grab, and then you can adjust kind of where you want this flower to go. And just like that, you kind of have a floppy thing. And then the last little deal, let's pull out my poker tool. Actually, I like this end of my pickup tool. Push this off. And I just grabbed kind of a couple places I thought made sense. I might stick one in the center here. I want to make sure I have one on this side, so over here might make sense. And then, oh, let's put something maybe over here. Just a little bit. And that's all there is to it. And that's a finished card. Again, you could stamp something on your envelope. And finally, for our last card, I kind of left the biggest one to the last. It's this one here. I think it's just a gorgeous card. And so, pull out all your elements that are with this one. Okay, so you have all of these, and mine is on a big piece because it wanted to fall apart. So, to start with, push all this stuff out of the way. Let's go ahead and add this element on the inside. This is just a little 5/8 inch piece of the Magnolia Lane paper. Just want to kind of get it lined up in the front, on the bottom part of the inside. I'm going to take this piece, fold it over, and then attach this to the inside. Again, you would put your greeting on the inside, but because I'm letting you decide what these are, I didn't do that. So attach your white, Whisper White on the inside. Okay, like so. Set this part aside. Then we have all these elements. So this element is taken from the Christmas layers dies that were in our holiday catalog, and it's just this piece. And I cut it out using some of the Perennial Essence vellum, which is colored. It's really, really beautiful paper, and this just kind of gives it just a little extra something. So I gave you some different options. Now, what I'm thinking, I used the Thinking of You with All My Heart. And you could, with this petal pink piece that I punched out using the tailored tag punch, you could take it, and this is what I figured you could do. Line it up. It's easy to stamp on, and just go like so. And you've got, clean that in a little bit. You've got your image. And if you don't want to try to emboss, that's why I gave you two, you could emboss it, heat emboss it with white embossing powder, and it turns out really cute. And honestly, I prefer it. However, if you don't have embossing powder available, what you can do is do one more, cut it in half. We're going to put some adhesive on the back. Okay. And I'm just going to line it up just a little bit above, so I get a backing on here and it pops off a lot better. Otherwise, you can't really see it when you lay it on top of this piece of Designer Series paper. So I'm just going to line it up like so. But then I have edges that I see, and so that's what this little piece is. You all have kind of, and it's a lot longer than you need, so I just put a little bit of glue on this end. Okay. Pick up your paper and line it up. It's okay if it goes over. You kind of almost want it to. Like so. Cut this piece off. It's okay if it's a little extra. Do the same thing on the other side. Like so. And then what we're going to do is you're just going to come in and follow the angle of that die, or that tag punch. Hopefully not cut off too much. Here, and then I'm going to come here and snap off like here. Then you're able to see your tag punch. So I'm going to set these things aside. I didn't end up needing them. And then you have this piece, but you'll note on the card, it has the same edge as the tag punch. What I did, if you line it up, take it inside, and I already did yours, so you don't have to worry about this. You're going to come in this way from the back, and I'm only going to catch the edge. And then I have that same angle that I have on the front of my tag. So then we're going to go ahead and just assemble. It's a much simpler card than what it looks like. Let's see what angle I want to come here. So I'm going to attach a piece. This is a 3 3/4 inch square piece of paper. I'm just going to take this, and you see that it's just the back side of the same paper. It's gorgeous paper. And I'm going to come down, center it right to left, and down about, 1/4 inch or so from the top. That's when I'm going to take this piece, and you're going to take off the backing. Yours will still have the backing on it. And then when I come, I kind of just want it to lay behind, and you're going to push lightly. It's okay if it doesn't stick super well. And then I did the same thing with this that we did with the linen thread on the last card. I'm just going to make a nice big bow. If I can get it to stay together, that'd be nice. Okay. You just want a big loopy bow. And I'm going to lay it actually just in the center, and then I'm going to put my dimensionals on the back of my tag. I'm going to choose the one I embossed because I like it better. I just think it pops better being with all the black with the white lettering. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Pull off my ends. Goes off here. Take my tag, and I'm just going to set it right in the middle of that. Yeah, maybe. Move it around. It wants to not stay. There we go. Like so. And then the last part, and I think I might have left my pearls somewhere else. Let me grab my pearls. You have 3 little ones that I gave to you. So you're just going to take it, put one about here, take 2 more, and just set them off on both sides of it. You could draw a line if you needed to line up, if that helps, but they're really not too hard to move. There, like so, an extra one. And voila! And that is the rest of the cards. And so then you just stick it with your envelope. Again, you could do some embellishing on that if you'd like, but 3 simple cards I think that you can easily make, and I would love to see your designs. And if you choose different stamps, if you would send me pictures of them, I would think that'd be great. Thanks so much.